Okay.
So my name's Grace Ross, and I'm the coordinator of the Mass Alliance Against Predatory Lending, and this is one of a set of videos we're doing for those of you out there who are trying to understand foreclosures and what's happening in your situation. So the most critical and urgent thing for everybody to know is you do not need to leave at the auction. In some other states, the auction and the eviction are a single legal action. Not true in Massachusetts. In fact, the majority of folks who are winning their homes for the long term are winning after the auction, supposed auction, occurred, because these auctions are overwhelmingly not legal. And if you can prove that, or you can put the bank in a situation where it really finally has to negotiate with you so that you can, for instance, buy back, that's mostly happening for people after the auction happens. So do not panic just because an auction's coming up. And do not leave just because an auction's coming up. In Massachusetts, the laws are clear. Ownership of property is actually a separate legal system than your right to occupy the property. So ownership of property is related to real property law. Your right to stay in the home is tenant-landlord law and eviction law. And for all of you out there who have been homeowners and not tenants, your protections often after a supposed auction get much better legally and are much easier to enforce in certain ways, because we as a state have had decades of tenant organizing, and those tenants have fought hard to make sure that, one, even if you're staying in the home and you're not a formal tenant, you still have a right to be evicted through court. It's really important. They can't put you out. So if you have an auction and someone comes to you and says you're going to have to leave anyway, you might as well take $2,000 or something to leave, that is not true. Until they've won and beaten you in court, you don't have to leave. Similarly, if they try and get you out by letting the place disintegrate around you, by not doing the repairs after an auction, that's illegal in Massachusetts. That's referred to as self-help eviction or constructive eviction, where they act as if they have a right to get rid of you without ever proving it in court. There's no presumption that because somebody owns a piece of property when they purchase it, that that you then don't have a right to live there. They have to prove it in court. So that's really critical. Don't leave, and for sure get in touch, because you're going to need to know how to fight for those rights.